Yeah, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be talking about my pound for pound list for 2023. Just want to give you guys a quick heads up that I am actually recording this video outdoors today, just because every room in the house is currently occupied, so I do apologize if there are background noises. But in this video I am going to be talking about my top 10 pound for pound list, but I will also be using a tier system for this. I just feel like it's better, and it's easier for us to understand where each fighter belongs, really. So yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it, and it's a fairly easy concept to understand. You guys will get it in no time for sure. So there are 6 tiers in my top 10 pound for pound list. Odd as that may sound, but in this tier there's 2 names, and they are battling for the number 10 spot on my pound for pound list. And these 2 people are Tank Davis and David Benavidez. So as we all know, both of them fought twice this year, and both won very impressively. Tank fought the 2 undefeated Garcias, outboxed both of them leading up to the knockouts. And Tank, in my opinion, participated in the second biggest fight of the year. So that means he won on the grandest stage of them all, and he did so brilliantly. Benavidez, on the other hand, announced himself to the world, really, with his performance against Caleb Plant. Didn't really completely dominate the whole fight, but once he got the ball rolling, it was an avalanche. He couldn't be stopped. He looked very impressive against an elite world-level talent. Then he went on to demolish Andrade, of course, a two-weight division world champion, and one awkward customer. So we got 2 guys here that impressed a lot in 2023, but ultimately I ended up going with Tank for my number 10 spot. The reason being is that Tank demolished both of his opponents. Caleb Plant had a lot of success against Benavidez in the first half and was up 4-2, maybe even 5-1 against Benavidez in the first half. So there's that argument against Benavidez. And to be honest, if I'm being real, I never really thought highly of Andrade. He was going up to his 3rd weight class, and he did bad in his debut. Or not bad, but he just didn't impress. So nothing to go off that, to be honest. But we all know this. Benavidez is scary. He's a monster, and he's definitely someone to watch out for in 2024. But for now, Tank outdoes him in 2023, and Tank takes number 10. Alright, y'all, I went back inside. It started raining, but yeah, in tier 5 I do have Bam and Beterbiev battling it out for the 8th and 9th spot, and honestly I got Bam at number 8 and Beterbiev at number 9, just because Bam fought twice. I get it that he didn't look amazing against Gonzalez, but he still won that fight even though he broke his jaw, and he ended off the year very strong against someone who I rate very highly. Sonny Edwards is a grandmaster of boxing, in my opinion, the best flyweight in the world, undefeated, in his prime, hungry. He's a champion. He's been calling out Bam for some time now, and honestly, in my opinion, he got under Bam's skin, but Bam still lit him up. So that's why Bam is number 8, and I personally rate Sonny higher than Yard, so that also is a factor. And Beterbiev is at 9 because he only had 1 fight this year, and he got pushed in that fight. I mean, it was actually a nominee for Fight of the Year in the first half of the year, in my opinion, at least. Yard got some good licks in against Beterbiev, but ultimately succumbed to Beterbiev's power, as they all do. Beterbiev also just came off a terrific performance against Joe Smith just the fight before, and he still does have 3 belts in his division. That's ultimately why I have him over Tank. The belts. Moving on to the 3rd tier, and in this tier I got 2 people battling it out for the 6th and 7th spot. They are Devinhaney and Teofimolopez. So I'm gonna start off with Teo here, and what he's done this year is basically that he beat another undisputed champion, Josh Taylor. Undefeated Josh Taylor. He defeated him. Duh. I don't know why I said another undisputed champion, like Loma was undisputed. Loma wasn't undisputed when he beat him, but it was a fight for undisputed, so you guys know what I mean. So he beat Josh Taylor handily, convincingly, and even warranted votes for performance of the year when it happened. He redeemed himself for the Kambosos loss and, his controversial win over Sandor Martin with that performance. Now Devin, he started off this year a little bit rocky. He defended his undisputed claim against Lomachenko. It was a controversial win, a very, very close fight. And yo, I ain't gonna cap, I had Loma winning by a point, or at the very worst, a draw. But you know, it is what it is. I digress. Haney won officially, and you know, he had good moments in that fight. So basically he reigned as undisputed at 135 until he moved up and challenged the second best, in my opinion, of course, junior welterweight in his debut. You know, completely dominated Prograis and looked honestly sensational. Put on a masterful performance, although, you know, I will say that in my opinion, Prograis is, you know, he was made to order for someone like Devinhaney. But nevertheless, he was still the second best in the division behind Teo, in my opinion. And he put him in a blender. But enough with all of that. Teo is number 7 on my list and Haney is number 6. I already kind of gave my reason why Haney isn't number 5 or higher, but I still have him over Teo because honestly, when I was scoring the Teo-Taylor fight, I actually thought it was a much closer fight than people did. I think I had it like 8-4 Teo. Some people acting like it was like a wipeout. It was not a wipeout in my opinion. Teo didn't completely dominate Taylor like people swear he did. You could also see from his face like he got marked up, and that's cool, you know, it happens. But you know, and as I alluded to earlier, Teo was coming back from a very disappointing loss to Kambosos, who is now honestly exposed as a B-level talent at most. At the very best, he's a B-level talent. And you know, a controversial win against Sandor Martin. So he had 2 below expectation performances, if that makes any sense, while Haney is coming off a controversial win against a former top pound-for-pound fighter and an incredible performance against Prograis, and he was undisputed in 135. So Devin number 6 and Teo number 7. Now on to tier 3, and in this tier it is the 4th and 5th spot, and the people battling it out for the spots are Bivol and Canelo. And let's not waste any time. I got Bivol at number 4 and I got Canelo at number 5. Main reason why is because Canelo lost to Bivol just last year, and since then he had okay performances against subpar competition. I mean, a predictable victory over a 70-year-old Triple G, and then he won against Ryder, but you know, he started off really strong there, but ultimately he ate a lot of shots in there. And honestly, Ryder's stock actually went up from that fight despite him getting dropped and battered. So that says a lot. And in my opinion, against Charlo, he had a great performance. Sorry, not great, a good performance, but still did not meet my expectations. I mean, Charlo was going up 2 weight divisions to go against the king, the undisputed champion of 168. No tune-ups, no nothing. He just took on the king. So in my eyes, Canelo should have knocked him out, and he didn't. I don't even think he hurt Charlo bad, like at all, where he should have multiple times. He should have. So that's why he's number 5, and Bivol is number 4, just because he beat Canelo last year when Canelo was number 1 pound for pound. I mean, that's insane. And then after that, he went on to defeat the undefeated 44-0 Zurdo, who is now actually a cruiserweight and just had a good performance against Joe Smith this year. Then he completely dominated Lyndon Arthur, like wiped him out, you know, cleared the board with him. You know, not an impressive name, but, you know, still enough to make it to number 4 on my list. And in tier 2, there's only one fighter here, and that is Alexander Usyk. Usyk is my number 3. He's alone in this tier just because I don't think Canelo or Bivol has a strong enough argument to be above him, and I don't think Usyk has a strong enough argument to be mentioned with the top 2 of my list. Usyk came into 2023 off of 2 sensational victories over Anthony Joshua, and he had 1 controversial knockout win against Dubois this year. Let's also not forget that Usyk is still undefeated. He was undisputed at cruiserweight and is a 2-weight world champion and holds 3 out of the 4 belts in the heavyweight division. So definitely nobody to play with. And yeah, number 3 on my list. And of course, we all know who's in tier 1 battling for the number 1 spot. It is Naoya, Inoue, and Terrencecrawford. Let's just quickly recap what they did this year. I'm going to start off with Crawford. He was a participant in the biggest fight since Mayweather-Pacquiao. A fight which had 2 pound-for-pound fighters in it. I don't think this happened since Canelo Triple G. Was that the last time this happened? It's a fight for undisputed in the welterweight division. I don't think it's ever been done before in the 4-belt era. And he destroyed Spence. Absolutely cooked him, schooled him, and put him away. Complete and utter domination. Made history by becoming the first ever 2-time undisputed in 2 different weight classes. Took Spence's O, made it easy, and cooked the big fish. And we all know most of the people thought it was going to be a 50-50 fight, but he made easy work out of Spence. And yeah, that's what Crawford did this year. And Inoue had 2 fights this year. First against an elite world level talent in Fulton. He was going up to a new division and fighting the absolute best in that division. And people had a lot to say about Inoue and how he fights nobodies. And when he finally fought somebody, they're referring to Donaire, that he almost lost. And they were saying that Fulton was going to expose him. Fulton was bigger and longer and was a master boxer. All of this. Fulton's team even accused Inoue of cheating by rapping illegally. Something like that, right? And what did Inoue do? He wrapped his hands how Fulton wanted them wrapped, took Fulton's belts, and sent him home empty-handed. Put on a clinical performance against Fulton, knocked him out in devastating fashion. I mean, he outboxed the boxer, dominated him in his own game, and he wasn't even close. Then he fought Tapales, who just upset the other head honcho of the division. Again, same story, demolished him. Proved superior in every way and took his belts, and he too became undisputed in 2 weight divisions. So Inoue collected 4 belts and became undisputed in another division in 8 months, essentially. He collected 5 belts and became undisputed twice in 378 days. He is 26-0 with 23 KOs. He has fought in 21 championship bouts and won all of them, and 19 of them by KO. He is 13-0 against current or former world champions. That means Inoue has been fighting for a title since his 5th fight. That means there are no build-up fights and there are no tune-up fights. No bums, no nobodies. He's been fighting world-level competition since his 5th fight. He is also in his 4th weight division and just became undisputed there. He is continuously going against the best and looking for the best and going up weight divisions to find the best. He goes from deep end to deep end, fight after fight after fight, and I think I made it pretty obvious on who I believe is number 1, and it is Inoue. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it's a for sure thing though. Realistically, Bud wins performance of the year for me. In his only fight this year, he beat a pound-for-pound fighter handily and made history first. But, Inoue fought twice against elite competition and made history as well, and accomplished more than Bud has in the past couple years. I mean, I'm saying Inoue became undisputed twice in 378 days, just a little over a year. Crawford took 4 to 5 years to become undisputed in welterweight. It's a close one, right? And there really isn't a right or wrong answer, but my answer is Inoue. Inoue is the fight of the year and my pound for pound number 1. But just to recap, I got gervontadavis at number 10, Artur Beterbiev at number 9, Jesse Rodriguez at number 8, Teofimolopez at number 7, Devinhaney at number 6, Caneloalvarez at number 5, Dimitri Bivol at number 4, Alexander Usyk at number 3, Terrencecrawford at number 2, and Naoyainoue at number 1. But I want to hear from y'all. Y'all tell me what you guys think. Y'all give me your pound for pound list. Y'all let me know if you agree or disagree. Just chat with me down in the comment section below. Say something, yo. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you.